SEO for HVAC is dead.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I cannot. It's serious.
Now, I know there are going to be some of you out there that are going to have a whole lot of hate when it comes to this. If you have any hate about what we're going to say here today when in regards to HVAC, SEO for HVAC being dead, just leave them in the comments below. We'll respond. But we're going to dive into this topic and we're going to give you some options besides SEO that you should be doing for your marketing. I'm Kerry here from HVAC Grow. This is Steve over here from HVAC Grow.
Howdy, howdy. So yeah, don't get us wrong. Like SEO for years, for maybe decades, a couple of decades was really, really important to HVAC. And I would know, I was an HVAC contractor for 10 years. It was critical to our business. So, you know, we relied heavily on SEO. We ranked, it was in the greater Vancouver market from HVAC business. We ranked number one, not only in the core cities, but in basically every single surround city for SEO. It brought in a lot of jobs, but there's significant problems with SEO now. And we're going to dig deep into that on this video. That is pushing especially local businesses rankings down. So even if you're number one, it doesn't even matter anymore. And yeah, we'll dig into that. No, go ahead.
I worked with Steve, did a lot of his marketing using SEO for his business. It worked very, very well. We're talking over 10 years ago. It's becoming way more difficult, way more expensive to do SEO. And the results that you get just are not at what they used to be. And I'll show you why here when I show my screen here. I'm just going to share my screen, give you an example here. So what we're looking at here is I put myself in Phoenix here with the ability of a VPN or a service that actually Google has called I Search From. So I put myself in Phoenix, air conditioning repair, right? Big term. A lot of people need this, especially come spring and summer, or even in the fall in Phoenix in the desert there. So when you do the search for air conditioning repair, right away, you're going to see sponsored. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sponsored listings right at the top. These are Google paid ads or search ads. Google's going to show them right at the top because they're making money off these ads. They're not making money off SEO. And in fact, they don't like people doing SEO. We know that people still game the system. It's okay. All right. As you scroll down, then you start getting into the Google My Business listings or the local business listings. All right. There's only 3 that are in this listing, total of 3. Okay. So you got to be the very, very best to be in this listing here. And the other thing is that Google's only going to show the ones that, or the most relevant ones based on your location. So let's say you're in North Phoenix, you're going to see companies that, when you do a search like this, that are nearby where you're doing the search from. So you could be the best company with the best SEO, but you're in the southern area of Phoenix, you're not going to show here. Or if you're in Mesa, you're not going to show here. Simple is you need to, this is what Google does now with this. And so you can't be here for every search possible in the Maps listing or the Google My Business listing. As we scroll down even further, you're going to get the asked questions here. So we're not even getting down to the organic listings yet till we get to here. Here's the first one, organic.
And you're actually missing a couple. So some searches will pop up 2 other things. So Google Guaranteed, which pops up usually at the very top. Probably the browser that they're using might not show in it. So above all of that is Google Guaranteed listings, not organic. Above that, sometimes the search query will trigger a Gemini result. So it'll trigger an AI response explaining to you something about it, which again is not organic. So I don't know how many that is. Is that 5 or 6 different services stacked on top of the organic results? So when do they find your top ranked page? Like let's say you're in Phoenix and you spend $50,000, $100,000 and years getting to number 1, you're so far down in that page, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know? I was trying to show it here on mobile. Whoops, I went away there. Let me just do the search again. So yeah, you get down further, and then here's the first organic listing. But then you get what we call an authority site, where you have Yelp, because they've been around so long. They have tons of authority. And what I mean by authority are other websites linking to it. Google trusts the site. So you're going to see Yelp in a lot of these search results when it comes to home service industries, especially HVAC, even Reddit right away. So you've got 1 organic, you've got 3 map listings based on location, And then you start getting into more of these. And there's really not much space left here. Plus, you're being pushed down so far. Now, one other important thing to note is that each month, Google sees 15% of the searches that it sees are searches it's never seen before. And people are using more natural language searching. So, for example, they're going to put in, who is the closest air conditioning repair company and has a 4.5 star rating or higher in Phoenix? You can have a real long one like that. How do you optimize for that? You can't for that.
So here's a little anecdote just to kind of highlight this a little bit. So we did some SEO marketing in the Chicago area on some specific terms in HVAC. We got up to ranking #1 organically. We thought, wow, we did it, right? We really crushed it. And then we had a tracking number that actually monitored the calls coming in. It was 3 a month, 3 calls a month coming in from the #1 search term in a 10 million greater population area. So imagine if you're in a small area, it's nothing. It's just, it'll turn to nothing. So on a, on a broad, like think of this from Google's terms. They don't want you to have free rankings, right? They make absolutely nothing when you rank #1. They don't make anything. There's other industries where there's not all the local stuff shoved on top. So, if you're searching for some national term that there's no map searches, there's no Google local service ads, maybe there's no other ads running, ranking #1 actually matters. But for local search, it's been beaten down so far. It's crazy. So,
yeah. And Google's purposely doing that because they make money off this. And plus, they don't want you doing SEO. Because they can't make money off it and you trying to game the system. There's also that risk there, and I'm going to get these other ones that leave hate comments below, but that's okay. There's a risk there that if it's done wrong, you can disappear. Google will blacklist you. So if you really want to take that risk, you can, but just letting you know, those are the risks involved in it. And yes, there are SEO companies that will work, that are good at what they do. And I know there are a lot of good SEO people out there because I did it for years, that can get you to the top spot. But you're going to spend a lot of money on that. And I'll get into that shortly here as well. I just wanted to give you another example of another city. This is Dallas. You get the same thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sponsor listing. These are Google ads that you can pay for and be in those positions. And you can be in them in a day or two with Google Ads.
You do a local search, Carrie, like even from like your browser, not using this tool, it'll pop up all the LSA ads too. Like
that's right.
There's even more garbage that pops up.
So again, here, your
try yourself in your local market. Type in whatever your services are in your local market and just see how far down organic matters now.
Yeah, but I would recommend doing it in incognito if you're using Chrome, because otherwise Google will remember what you've searched for before and tailor those searches for that. So even here, you're pushed down and there's Yelp right there near the top. So it's really being skewed now towards SEO being very expensive and not necessarily worth the time and money.
We're going to actually get to what we suggest, and we've run the marketing for about 2,000 businesses, home service businesses, HVAC, mostly HVAC, and of course a bunch of other industries. So we know what works currently, and we're going to get to that.
So let me just get this here, something bigger. So let's just say you're spending $2,000 a month on SEO. Right. I don't think that's out of the question. I mean, we've both seen, Steve, that's $2,000 a month to do SEO. That's quite common now. And
pretty common, yeah.
You're paying less than that. You're probably not going to get any results. So you're going to spend $2,000 a month. Now, to get to that first page, considering if you've never done SEO before and you have all these other sites that have been around a long time, that are on the first page, you're going to have to do more than them to get to the first page. So you're going to spend $2,000 a month right there. Right off there. So let's say the SEO company says to you, well, it's going to take 2 years. So you're going to take 24 months, right? You're looking at $48,000 spent on that. $48,000.
In two
And
years,
yeah,
could be to be honest, totally wrong. So like with much lower competition, like I saw it was in 2017, so we're doing it since 2007, and we built it over 10 years. It got better and better over the course of 10 years. So, uh, 2 years could be optimistic.
yeah, 2 years could be up to even 1 year. You're spending $24,000 on that, but you're putting all this money in right away, and you're not going to get necessarily onto the first page in that amount of time. So you've put all this money in with the hope you're going to get to the first page of search results. No guarantee that you're going to get there. Now, over that period of time, you need to get leads for your business. You need to get more business, more people that want a repair, an installation, right? Let's say you're using Facebook ads for, let's just over here. I'm just going to add another box. Let's say you're doing Facebook and Instagram. All right. And you're doing Facebook and Instagram ads, and you're spending, let's say, I don't know, like $50 a day over 30 days. You're spending $1,500 a month. Hopefully my math was right on that. I apologize if it's not, because I was just thinking off the top of my head. So $1,500 a month and on your ad spend. Now, getting a lead on Facebook and Instagram for an installation, not just a repair, an installation where, Steve, back me up on this because you did this for a long time. An installation has a higher net income than, say, a repair, correct?
It has more dollar figure, but a lower profit margin. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say you're getting $50 a lead on that, and you close one out of every four. So your CPA, your cost per acquisition, is $200. So for $200, you could be getting 8. So like a total of 8 installations from this. In that, so for that $1,500 a month, compared to the $2,000, we're going to get nothing for months, maybe years. So the other option as well is Google Ads, where you're going to get, this is where you want, on Google Ads, you want to be doing that for your repair and even installation. And you could be getting leads for the same amount, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. So you could be getting leads within the first week by doing Facebook and Instagram ads, or otherwise known as Meta, or even Google Ads for both. And when I was showing you that search engine results page before, where the top listings at the top were sponsored, meaning Google Ads, you can be right at the top right away. Yeah, you're paying for that, but the fact is that you could be paying $24,000, $48,000 and getting nothing out of that altogether. So, Steve, anything else you want to add on this?
In a nutshell, they've really rigged the system in favor of just pay for your leads. Just do paid lead acquisition, because free lead acquisition, they've essentially killed it off. Over the course, there is probably, I would say, 2 to 3 companies in every market that are gonna probably take in 80% of the SEO traffic. They're going to be old ones. They're going to have things running for 15, 20 years. And they're going to be gobbling up almost anything that comes organically. And for you to become one of those companies, great. Make it a long-term goal. Like what we advise, like we run SEO for a bunch of our clients and everything else before we've kind of discovered all the issues, and we're advising people when they ask to kind of go away from it, recommit those dollars to different stuff. But it's like you can just dump so much money into it for little results. And, Google knows this. This is the game that they've played. Unfortunately, we're in their sandbox, so we got to play with their rules. And it is what it is. So,
yeah. Not only that, playing in their sandbox, they set the rules, and they can kick you out of your sandbox at any time, or out of their sandbox. And
sure.
What Steve was saying about the specific businesses that you're going to see in most of the searches is because they've been around a long time. They have big websites, big businesses. Google trusts them. I'm sure something like this in Dallas, Baker Brothers, Rescue Air, Dallas Heating and Air Conditioning. Those are all ones that are your authority sites in Google's eyes for this, for Dallas. And you're going to have to fight with them to get to those top spots.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible to become one of those, but what we say is just take a very small budget, put some work and effort towards building up some SEO on the side. Great. Go after it as your long-term project. Do not rely on it in any short-term capacity to actually feed your business. It's a horrible idea. It's just not going to work.
Yeah. The other thing you have to think of as well is that these sites have been around a long time, possibly have been doing SEO. So they have really strong SEO. In order to beat them, you have to do better SEO than them, which means you're going to have to put a lot of investment in to do more than that they've already done and that they're currently doing to get to these spots. So it's a very expensive proposition to do that. Now,
so Kerry, what's a better idea? What's a better way to go?
We do this for our clients. We work with the HVAC industry. We've got hundreds of HVAC clients. We help them manage their online marketing, do all their online marketing, basically done for you online marketing, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Google, even helping with your website, even YouTube ads as well. We can help you with all that. We've got a link in the description below. Head over there, find out what we do. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like, share this video, helps us out a lot. And we will have more good tips for you for HVAC business when you're doing online marketing in future videos.
Great. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.